Hey you. Yeah, you, the one that clicked on this video. Chances are you're bored. And you need a new manga to read. Worry not. Daddy Abisri, he's got you. So I got a couple of mangas let's go to recommend to you today. Five that I've just been currently reading in no particular order. Right? So we're just gonna get right into it. Now, the first one I would recommend to you is Sakamoto Days. My bad, I meant Sakamo Goat Days. Right? By the author Yuto Suzuki. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you, this manga is actually my favorite out of the five. So, right off the bat, we're introduced to Taro Sakamoto. He's basically Hitman Jesus of this world, right? He ends up meeting a girl, they fall in love, get married. You know, things I'll probably never do in my lifetime. They end up opening a store. And one day, a guy that used to work with Taro Sakamoto shows up. His name is Shin, the clairvoyant. Sakamoto's first thought is just to fucking stab him in the neck, right? And Shin can read minds. So just this whole moment right here is just a really funny panel. They end up having a brawl in the store, and Sakamoto literally fucking deflects a bullet. Right? Get this, he deflects a bullet with a fucking cough drop. I mean,
that's why he's the GOAT!
Yeah, he's definitely Hitman Jesus. That wasn't a lie. So the fight ends up with Shin getting blasted through three aisles into a wall. Then he's just dead. Well, not really though. He wakes up getting his wounds just treated by Sakamoto's wife. And I gotta say, I love this moment right here. It's just so funny. It's a great moment. An interaction between these two. Right? So basically, Shin ends up going back to his boss and just says, yeah, let's leave him alone. Because clearly they can't fuck with Sakamoto, right? So he basically says to Shin, if you unalive yourself, remember, can't say that other word, right? That he'll go ahead and spare Sakamoto. But he forgets that Shin can read minds, and he says, yeah, right. Like I'm gonna spare him. Shin decides to go and pull out the blicky, and now the whole place is just getting aired out. But, of course, like the goat he is, Sakamoto managed to go to bug Shin. I don't know when he did this, but this is just fucking cool. So he's been listening it the entire time. Now get this, he enters a code into his cash register, and the whole store just turns into a scene from John Wick. I mean, this is such an incredible panel. But now that we cut back to Shin, Shin is getting overwhelmed, and he's probably gonna die until Sakamoto shows up and lays the beat down on everybody. I mean, he dismantles the gun mid-air and then still decks the guy on the same page. I mean, like, like it's crazy. So Sakamoto just destroys everybody, and I mean, it's so sick. I mean, I'm over here just glazing Sakamoto, but I mean, like, the first chapter we get some really funny moments, and then it's just so badass. I actually can't recommend this manga enough. I mean, it's great. It really is. The characters are great. The story's actually pretty good. And then the fighting, the choreography, like it's sick. But anyways, now that I'm done glazing Sakamoto, on to the next one. Now, the next manga is probably my second favorite. It's called Dandadan. Now, you might have heard of this one because it's actually getting an anime adaptation. I was even contemplating putting it on here to begin with, but anime's not out yet. But anyways, Dandadan by the author Yukinobu Tatsu, it's another banger. Think about it like this. What's worse, aliens or ghosts? Now, that's a dumb question because the answer is both. Now, Dandadan takes his idea and just runs with it, and I love that. Who doesn't like aliens and ghosts? Am I right or am I wrong here? Now, we're introduced to our two protagonists in the first chapter, Miss Momo Ayase, a girl with a very unhealthy obsession for Ken Takakura, which, I gotta say, is super ironic considering our other protagonist, Occult-kun, aka Ken Takakura. Now, Takakura, he's obsessed with the paranormal. I'm talking Greys, Bigfoot, reptilians, your mom, you name it. Momo, on the other hand, thinks it's all just a load of shit, but she believes in spirits, while Takakura doesn't. They have a challenge to prove the existence of one or the other. Now, what ends up happening is Sakakura is at a haunted tunnel, while Momo, she's in a UFO hotspot. They end up having a heart-to-heart on the phone. Then, boom, a ghost lady, aka Turbo Granny, shows up and attacks Sakakura, while three aliens show up and abduct Momo. Now, if you're familiar with alien abductions, you know where this is going. And if you're not, well, they're gonna probe her, per se. But Takakura shows up just in time, possessed by Turbo Granny, to stop him. Now, they quickly turn the tables on Takakura, but we find out Momo actually has psychic powers. Now, I gotta say, this is pretty cool. Momo ends up kicking alien ass and then blowing a hole in the side of the UFO. Now, they end up landing on the ground, and this sequence of events is honestly really cool. I actually really enjoyed it. But, unfortunately, Turbo Granny has Takakura slung. Rest in peace, my boy. Now, after all this, they end up believing in both aliens and ghosts, right? Now, the world seems like a darker place. But, besides that, they have to go ahead and get Takakura's slung back. Turbo Granny's words, not mine. But before they set out to do that, Momo finally asks for his name, which he replies, "It's Takakura-ken." Now, I gotta say, this series is actually really great, and I cannot wait until the anime comes out. But I'm a manga reader. I'm filthy like that. So, anyways, I gotta say, the story is really great. The characters have a ton of personality. The action's really dope. And I really love the concept that ghosts and aliens exist in this world. I mean, it's pretty fucking, well, pretty damn. And if you can't wait any longer, the anime, I think, comes out in October, so you don't have that much longer to wait. Anyways, on to the next manga. Now, this one's definitely fan service heavy, and I'm not gonna lie, I hated it at first. But it grew on me. It's called Chain Soldier by author Takahira, who also made A Kame Got Killed. I personally think it's garbage, but it's 8 out of 10 garbage. So, if you like ass and titties, this one's for you. So in this world, there's another dimension called Mato, basically. All these monsters called Shukiwa. They sometimes feel a little bit silly and go ahead and go to Earth where they destroy a bunch of shit, including buildings, parks, stores, your mom, etc. But now we have our main character, Yuki Wakura, who is a recent high school graduate, who accidentally got whisked away to Mato while just casually walking around. While in Mato, he's attacked by Shuki, and he ends up meeting the commander of the 7th Squad, Kyoka Uzun. Now, let me start this off by saying, in this world, there's these fruits called peaches that when eaten by women, grant them powers. And men don't get any powers from eating these peaches. But anyways, back to our boy Yuki. Yuki ends up meeting Kyoka in Mato. They get surrounded by Shuki, and with no other options, Kyoka tells Yuki that she's gonna enslave him. Basically, whenever she enslaves anybody, it brings out their special abilities. Now, they manage to go and kill all the Shuki in the area, and they make it out alive. Now, here's the thing. Whenever her slave does anything good for her, you gotta go to give him a reward. But, of course, this is a fan service manga, so the reward is sexual in nature. I I hate fan service, but this one is actually not that bad. Now, I gotta say, so far, from when I've been reading this manga, I've actually enjoyed it. It's not that bad. The story, okay, well, the story is kind of bad when you think too into it, but that's not what we're here for. We're here to go and enjoy the fan service, I guess, right? But anyways, I love the characters the most. Tenka, Fubuki, Mira, Ren. Mostly Tenka and Mira. But this story has been something that I've enjoyed. I'm kind of quite surprised. I mean, I like the fact that Yuki, his form, it's based on whoever's enslaving him, which is just really, that's really cool. Because, like, you have all these different forms. Fucking Super Saiyan bargain bin day out here, I'm not gonna lie. And then not to mention, some of these fight scenes with these wide panels are really cool. I think it's actually really dope. Not to mention, the fan service does grow on you, I guess. But anyways, on to my fourth recommendation. This one, you've probably heard of it. It's called Berserk. No, I'm just joking. My fourth recommendation is actually Ranger Reject, not Berserk. Don't want to traumatize you, of course. But yeah, Ranger Reject by the author Negi Haruba. This one's actually really nice. Think about it like Power Rangers, but dark and kind of twisted. Now, we're introduced to our main boy, Foot Soldier D. I'm not gonna lie to you, D's the man. He's a part of the Invaders. Now, the Invaders about 13 years ago tried to invade Earth, and I'm not gonna lie, they were fucked. They got stomped. Now, the Dragon Keepers basically killed all the executives, which is basically like the higher ups of the Invaders. So now the Invaders are forced to go ahead and reenact the Sunday battle. I gotta say, I love this. The Sunday battle, the first one that we even get to see, the invaders come down from the sky, right? And I just find this hilarious. They turn into a tiger, then they turn into a car, and then they run over the Rangers. Of course, it doesn't do anything, but this shit is funny. Now, D just says fuck all of that, right? Because he's tired of doing this shit. Now, the Rangers, they quickly dispatch of him. So, after D regenerates his body, he decides, you know what? I'm gonna go and infiltrate the Rangers. So he can go and kill them from the inside. I mean, like, he really wants to kill all of them. Like, that's what he says almost all the time. I love this manga. This manga is actually really funny. It's awesome, right? And then not to mention, like, the art is just great. I mean, the wide panel shots you see, yeah, I fucking love it. So this one is like a chef's kiss. Now, on to the last one, and you've probably heard of this one. It's called Dorohedoro by the author Q Hayashida. And I gotta say, this one, I know it's getting a season 2 of the anime, and I'm fucking happy. Like, but again, I'm a manga reader. I prefer it more. But anyways, Dorohedoro. Now, it has it all. It has laughs, drama, action, and Nikaido. So in this world, you have sorcerers and humans. While humans live in the hole, while sorcerers live in the sorcerer's world. I know, that's a really unique name. Anyways, one day a man named Kaiman, who has a reptile head, and he can't remember his past at all, he meets Nikaido, a chef. I love Nikaido, who runs a restaurant. So they go around looking for the one who did this to Kaiman, and every time they find a sorcerer, Kaiman literally puts their head into his mouth, right? And now, there's a guy living inside of Kaiman's head who tells them, you are the one or you are not the one, right? And if they're not the one, Kaiman fucking slices them into pieces. I mean, it's fucking cool.
Sonja. Mo iran.
As they try to go around and figure out who did this to Kaiman, we're also introduced to a lot more characters, like Ed and his gang, for example. And I gotta say, they're fucking dope. And besides this, we're also getting a season 2 of the anime, so I guess keep an eye out for that right there. I know it's gonna be 3D, but trust me, give it a chance. It'll grow on you. Well, that's it for my manga recommendations. I gotta say, this video took a long time. It's like my first ever time actually editing and putting a video with all these clips and extra shit. And man, this was fun. I'm hoping you guys enjoyed it if you even made it this far. Yeah, alright, I'm done yapping now. Peace out, guys. Have a good day.